Hello and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today I am going to go over my Azure Standard haul. Today I'm going to share with you what I received in my last two Azure Standard haul. Now I had two very small orders, so I thought I would wait and combine them into one video for you. If you don't know what Azure Standard is, it is a company where you can buy organic as well as non-organic foods. It can be dairy products, grains, you can buy in bulk, you can buy in small quantities, but it takes out the middleman of the grocery store. So you put your order in, you find out when your delivery date's going to be, you meet your neighbors, and you unload the truck together. So here's a picture of one of the trucks at one of my delivery pickups. And so my neighbors and I, we all got together, we unloaded the truck, we separated everything out to who's going, what's going with who, and then you pick your stuff up and you take it home. Now there are some things that are cheaper buying it through Azure Standard, and there are some things that may cost a little bit more. But when you add it all up in the grand scheme of things, typically you save money because you're not paying for all of those added on costs that you would see at the grocery store. There will be a link in the description below that'll take you to the website where you can learn more about Azure Standard. But let's get into the haul. So in July, I had the smallest haul that I can recall ever having. And one of the reasons why it was a pretty small haul is because they were out of stock on quite a few items, which left me with a teeny tiny haul. And so let me share with you what I got. So in my July haul, I picked up some old-fashioned molasses. And so this is actually the Azure Market brand, and it's organic. So this is 32 ounces of molasses. Now I use molasses typically only, to make breads or to make brown sugar. This is how you do it. You just take regular granular sugar, put some molasses in it, and now you got brown sugar, and you don't have to buy brown sugar and it sits there and it goes to waste. You can make it as you need it. So that's my molasses. And here's a price comparison for you. I also like to buy my maple syrup from Azure. So this is a dark and robust grade A organic maple syrup. Now this is what, 1 quart. So I buy it in 1 quart bottles. And once I open it, I put it in the refrigerator, and this is the good stuff. I mean, it's the really good stuff. So for my young kids, I might mix it with that stuff you get from the grocery store and some of the good stuff, but maple syrup is delicious. And here's the cost up on the side here. Now, I'm not going to say which of these are better value or not, because until I go do the research, I don't know where the cost savings is going to come in yet. But here's the cost for Azure Standard, as well as the cost that I could get in my local grocery store. Now, I was also out of baking powder, so I bought the Rumford baking powder. Here's the cost, and the cost that I can get it in my local grocery store. Now, if you're not growing your own herbs from your garden and you need to purchase herbs, whether we're talking basil, parsley, cilantro, thyme, cumin, rosemary, whatever it is you need for your home from an herb standpoint, I guarantee you're going to get a good price from Azure Standard. So I needed to pick up some dill weed for making pickles and different sauces because I didn't grow any dill this year. And I picked up, 4 ounces of dill weed. So 4 ounces of it. And here's the cost of 4 ounces of dill weed. And I'm comparing it to what I can get in my local grocery store. Now this is gluten-free, GMO-free. This particular one doesn't say organic though, but gluten-free and GMO-free. And 4 ounces, that's a lot. So you got to be careful with your order sizes. Now I knew what I was getting into. 4 ounces is a whole lot of dill weed. And I am doing the price comparison up there for you so you can see just how much dill weed you're getting at 4 ounces versus the local grocery store. And then I like to buy my seeds for the upcoming year in the fall. So I like to start grabbing seeds up before they run out of stock at the end of the season. Typically, you're getting them at a discount price. And I'm not looking around early in the spring trying to find seeds because I already have my seeds. So I love Australian butter squash. Yes, Australian butter squash. It is a winter squash that tastes just like sweet potatoes. There's no aftertaste, nothing. It's delicious. And I actually started buying this as a produce from Azure Standard just to give it a try. I thought I was buying buttercup, but I ended up buying Australian butter squash. I cooked it, no aftertaste. So I made a sweet potato pie out of these winter squash. Didn't tell the family. They swore up and down that they were eating sweet potato pie. And I didn't tell them any different. I also grew this year in my garden, and I was able to harvest 2 or 3, and I still have some out on the vine. So my favorite all-time winter squash, Australian butter squash, and I got 3 packs of those seeds. And I was running low on mustard. So curly mustard, it's a type of green. So I picked up a couple packs of the curly mustard. These are called Southern Giant Curled Mustard. So I love mustard greens, and so picked up a couple packs of that. The price for the Australian butter squash is right here. And the price for the mustard seeds is right here as well. So there you have it. You got the price of everything that I purchased in my July haul. And if I total it up, here's the final cost in my July haul versus what it would have cost me at the grocery store. How did I do? Did I save money or did I lose money this month? All right, let's move over to the August haul. So I just picked this up yesterday. Yes, I just picked this up yesterday. And again, there were a few things that were out of stock, but I probably got more than 90% of my order this time. So in this particular order, I purchased some Sierra Nevada grass-fed butter. So this is salted grass-fed butter. I got 6 cups or 6 8-ounce blocks of this of this butter. And here's my cost versus the cost if I could find this locally. So I'm going to try to make as close of a comparison as I can. Now, this is my second choice when it comes to butter. There is a different brand that they're always out of. So this is my second choice. And if I ever get that brand in, I will absolutely share it in my haul, my preferred brand. But this is a close second and is absolutely delicious. If you've never had grass-fed butter, you have to try it. There's nothing like it. You cannot put side by side dairy cows that were fed grass versus a dairy cow that was fed grain. And you make butter from that cream, there's no comparison. They are not the same thing. They don't taste the same in any way, shape, or form. This is far superior. Let's see what else I got. Oh, cheese. If you want to save money, cheese is absolutely the way to save money with Azure Standard. So I buy my cheese in roughly 5-pound blocks. So this is an organic mild cheddar cheese, and it's roughly a 5-pound block I paid, excuse me, the weight of this is 4.88 pounds. So it's just under 5 pounds of an organic mild cheddar cheese. Is non-GMO, real California milk, grass-fed, American Humane, certified, USDA organic. So you can't ask for a better quality cheese. And so here's my Azure standard cost for this cheese, as well as how much I would pay for a 5 pound, and I'm going to just say 5 pounds, this is close enough, a 5 pound block of mild cheddar organic grass-fed cheese in my local grocery store. And I'm going to be honest with you, I probably can't even find a grass-fed organic cheese. I'm probably going to have to compare it to a lesser quality cheese, but still the price is so much better. I also got a second type of cheese, and I ordered both of these last month as well, and they were out. So I'm glad to be able to get both of them this year. So this is a Monterey Jack and Kobe cheese. They call it calico cheese. Some people call it farm cheese, but is Monterey Jack and Kobe mixed together. This is now this one does not say organic. It doesn't say, so I'm not going to compare it to an organic cheese. I'm just going to go like for like. This is 5.5 pounds, actually 5.63 pounds. So here's the price through Azure, as well as the price if I was to purchase this much cheese from my local grocery store. And the best way to do this comparison is probably going to have to go against the cheese in the deli section. So we will look, and I'll try to do as close to like for like as possible. Next, I picked up some honey, and this is one of the items that weren't available last month, but it was available this month. And this is orange blossom honey, raw honey, pure raw honey. And this is a 3-pound container of honey. Now, you can use honey as a replacement sweetener. I use honey when I make my homemade breads. I probably go through a jar of honey every 3 months or so, and I never like to run out, so I like to keep one on hand, and I'm almost out, so I was glad to be able to pick this up. So like for like, here's the price comparison. Now, I did order a few items that are not food or produce or dairy in this particular order. So one of the items that I ordered this month was some basting brushes. So I had some, they were wearing out. So these are Norpro, high resistance, up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 degrees Celsius, basting brushes. So I ordered 2. Now, I don't know if I saved money on this or not, but here's the price that I paid for these compared to wherever else I can try to find. And I'm going to look for the same name brand. So I'm going to get as close to possible to the same name brand, same size, same quality. And here's the prices. Now, Azure does have other things like deodorants and toothpaste and cleaning products and all kinds of other stuff. And so quite a few months ago, probably more than 6 months ago, I ordered some soap, some all-natural soap. And I believe this is jasmine. Yes, this is jasmine soap from Sapple Hill. And I love it. I mean, I love it. It's just soap. There's nothing special about it. There's no junk in it. And this is jasmine soap, and it smells awesome. And so I got 3 more bars of soap. And then my last item, which I'm super excited about. So Azure Standard just released, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, their own line of canning jars. So Azure now makes their own canning jars. So you don't have to deal with Ball and Kerr and some of those other brands. Azure has the stock and the supply for you. And I mean, these are some pretty jars too. It actually says Azure Canning Company on it, Azure across the top. These are canning jars. They got a pretty picture of the mountain on the jar, which you probably can't see it, but it's on the side of the box here too. but I don't have any half-gallon jars. So I got a wide mouth, 6 half-gallon jars for my supply, and they come with lids and rings. And I mean, these things are thick. I mean, these are really thick. High quality, looks like here. And so I thought I'd give them a try. I needed some half-gallon jars. Now, not really for canning, because this is more than my family could ever eat in one meal. I mean, even if the meal lasted 2 or 3 days, is way more than I need. But I needed some storage containers. And I wanted to have these on hand because you never know. I might need to can something in a half-gallon jar. And so I have 6 of these that I added to my supply. Now they come with the superb lids and rings. Now I think you've been able to purchase those for a few months, or it might have been last year I saw them for the first time. And this isn't typically the lid that I use on my jars. I usually use 4 jars, lids, as well as ball lids, but I'm sure this is a good quality lid as well, or Azure wouldn't have it on their website. So 6 of these jars. I look forward to using these going forward. So here's the price of the Azure standard jars, like for like. So I'm going to compare it against a ball jar. That's what I'm going to do. Half-gallon ball jar, set of 6 wide mouth jars compared to the ball jars. Big difference in price, big difference. So let's add up the August haul and compare my Azure standard price versus the local grocery store price. How did I do? I'm sure there's going to be a couple items on here that cost more from Azure standard, but in the end, with the cheese, I know without even having a calculator at hand right now that I saved money in August because the cheese is that big of a deal. I mean, you save that much money when it comes to the cheese. So there you have it. There's my July haul as well as my August haul from Azure Standard. So you can have huge hauls where you're buying 50-pound bags of sugar and rolled oats and all kinds of other stuff, flour, that kind of stuff. But if you don't need all of that, you can just get what you need. And when you are paying for shipping, you share in the cost of shipping of that truck for your delivery. And so it really cuts down on how much money you're having to put toward transportation, and the grocery store's cut, if you know what I mean. If you're interested in Azure Standard, click on the link down in the description below and it'll take you to the website and you can learn a lot more about Azure Standard. I like to do my grocery hauls with you, among other things like gardening and cooking and so many other things. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep this coming. Until next time, I'll see you back here again really soon. Bye.